Why do men and women settle in their relationship? That exact question is what our guests this morning are trying to find out. Renee and Moore, and join me with some more insight from their book research tour entitled Why the F Do We Settle? And this hour we're going to talk a little bit more about why women settle, and last hour we talked about men. So let's talk about women now. So let's, I guess, jump right into everything. And why do we settle? I feel like when I say why the F, my mom's going to be like, Allie, don't say that.
My mom is. But impacts and confidence is exactly what everyone is thinking. So why the F do we settle? The number one reason why women settle is because they're afraid of change. So maybe the fear factor of financial stability is now gone. It's now one person with an income instead of two. Or perhaps it's something where they are no longer a couple when they go to events, and it's very scary to be alone. No one wants to be alone, but it's a great time to know who you are, what you want, and just find the perfect person for you.
Absolutely. And I think one thing I actually learned, I studied relationships in school a little bit in college, and one thing that I learned there is a lot of times people will stay in relationships because they like own a couch together.
Exactly.
Like, why would you do that?
Exactly.
And I think that when you're in a relationship, you should actually feel better than ever. That person should be bringing you up. If you're feeling low self-esteem in a relationship, I think that's probably a good sign that you are settling.
Absolutely.
And then the third point.
And the third point is social pressures. So maybe it's that age that society expects you to get married. Maybe you've been with a guy forever. So pull the trigger. Decide what you're going to do. Or, you know, maybe it's just he looks great on paper. So why aren't you together?
Absolutely. And I mean, I definitely can admit that I've felt like I've definitely settled in the past, and and it's so funny, I think once you actually meet the person that you're going to be with, all of a sudden you're like, why did I do that before? I can't believe I was going to settle for that guy.
That's right.
That treated me that way and made me feel so bad.
Absolutely.
So
this is a huge one. And, you know, a lot of women, this is what we're known for. So we give and give and give. And if the guy is just taking, it's eventually going to leave you emotionally bankrupt. It's like you can make money and you keep spending, but you can only go on credit for so long. And if no money is coming in, you could possibly eventually go financially bankrupt. So it really affects with your emotional side as well.
Absolutely. And then you're afraid to be honest and vulnerable. And then finally, you find yourself constantly making excuses for his behavior.
So this is so big. You constantly find yourself making excuses. You need to stop. You need to stop having a relationship with that person's potential. Again, believe who they show you they are. If your guy is away for the weekend and doesn't call you for a week, it's probably not because he doesn't have cell phone reception.
Yeah. I was in one of those areas.
For 3 days.
Yeah.